Okay. Now see here, now facial nerve is just traversing this gland, and like below this nerve, whatever lobe we have is the superficial lobe, and deep to it we have the deep lobe. Okay. Then anyhow, clinical aspects we will study again. So basically, the parotid gland has two capsules. Like thyroid also has true capsule and false capsule. No, the outer capsule is the false capsule. I told you. Basically, in the neck region we have deep cervical fascia. So the outermost covering is the investing layer of deep cervical fascia. The investing layer of the deep cervical fascia is just reflecting on the face. It is splitting and it is enclosing the parotid gland. Okay, if you consider this as parotid gland, this pink mass, okay, so this becomes the false capsule, which is formed by the splitting of investing layer. Obviously, like if you have seen like prostate gland also, the true capsule I told you, it is formed by the condensation of the fibrous stroma of the gland. When we study thyroid gland also, we will come across the same sentence. Always true capsule is formed by the condensation of fibrous stroma of the gland. Okay, beta? Now see here. See, this is the deep cervical fascia. Okay, now you are finding it is when it is moving from the lower border of the mandible, when it is reflecting on the face, it is dividing into the superficial layer and deep layer. Okay, the superficial layer is becoming continuous with this arch. What is the name of this arch we have? Zygomatic arch. Okay, the deep lamina or the deep layer, it goes and it is getting attached to the tympanic plate. Okay, tympanic plate will be found in the temporal bone, okay, which is deeper inside. Now actually this deep layer thickens to form a ligament which is called as stylomandibular ligament. Okay, this stylomandibular ligament is actually important because it separates two glands. What are the two glands we have here? This is parotid gland, and the gland we have below the mandible is submandibular gland. So with the help of the stylomandibular ligament, which is also nothing but the thickening of the investing layer of the deep cervical fascia, which is extending almost from the styloid process to the angle of the mandible, the thickened ligament is actually separating two glands, that is the parotid gland from the submandibular salivary gland. Okay, that is. So what are the presenting parts? Already I told you, this is apex, this is base. Okay, now anterior border, posterior border, medial border we will see on the other side. Then we will have superficial, anteromedial and posteromedial surface. I hope that point is clear for you. Okay, from this picture, this is anterior border, this is posterior border. We cannot see medial border here because it is not a 3D picture. Okay, whatever surface you are seeing here, what is the name of this surface now?
Superficial.
Superficial, very good, superficial. In front of the medial border, what is the name of the surface, Meghana? In front of the medial border? Hansraj? Anteromedial surface, no beta. Then behind the medial border, posteromedial, isn't it? Okay, fine. Now, this picture maybe you should have practiced so much for your internals, and you must be remembering also. Now, this is the facial nerve which is actually traversing and it is dividing into terminal branches. What are the terminal branches we have? Temporal, zygomatic, upper buccal, lower buccal,
Lower buccal, marginal mandibular,
and cervical.
That's right.
Okay, simple names.
It is
Temporal,
called pest answering.
that we will discuss. See, temporal branch, we have zygomatic, upper buccal, lower buccal. Then we have marginal mandibular and cervical. So apart from that, from the anterior border, are you finding any duct here? That is parotid duct, also called as Stenson's duct. Isn't it? Okay. Then what are the other structures which are seen here associated? You are finding like the superficial temporal artery, like correspondingly we have the superficial temporal vein, the maxillary vein. Okay, they will join to form retromandibular. It will have anterior and posterior divisions. No, posterior division will go and join the posterior auricular vein, which will drain into external jugular. Anterior division, it will join which vein? the facial vein, and both of them will drain into internal jugular vein, isn't it? So you are finding the branches of external carotid artery also. What are the branches we see here? Posterior auricular, superficial temporal, okay, transverse facial, maxillary also we will see, okay. So apart from the terminal branches of facial, we are also finding the other nerves, like these are the branches from which nerve? Auriculotemporal. These are, you will see in scalp. Posterior auricular. These are the branches coming from trigeminal sensory nerves. Okay. Okay. Then, so now coming to the relations. So now what are the, see, suppose this is apex. So the apex is related to what structures? You are finding this nerve, that is the cervical branch of facial nerve. We are also finding one vein, retromandibular vein. Okay. Apex is also related to posterior belly of digastric and external carotid artery. This one. Okay. Now coming to the base. This is base, isn't it? So what are the structures which are related to the base now? You are finding the superficial temporal vessels, auriculotemporal nerve, then cartilaginous part of external acoustic meatus and temporal branch of the facial nerve. Okay, so these are the structures which are related to base. Okay, then superficial, that means once you are doing dissection and once you have removed the skin, whatever you say, lateral surface or superficial surface, you should write all that, like skin, superficial fascia, the platysma muscle, okay, the great auricular nerve and parotid lymph nodes. Okay, then coming to the anteromedial surface. So this is the anteromedial node where it, which is related to the mandible. Okay, so what are the structures? In the anteromedial area we have the stylomandibular ligament. Just now I told you stylomandibular ligament is extending from the styloid process to the angle of the mandible. Which two glands it is separating?
The parotid and the submandibular.
Yeah, very good. Okay, that what are the, see, what is the name of this bone? Mandible. Okay,
Mandible.
inside we have medial pterygoid and outside we have masseter, muscles of mastication,
Masseter.
isn't it? Okay, the other structures we are finding here are terminal branches of facial nerve. Okay, we also see the temporomandibular joint and maxillary artery. So all these are the structures which are related to anteromedial surface. Okay. Then coming to the posteromedial, what are these two bones? I said this is styloid process and this is
Toilet
mastoid.
process.
Mastoid process. Already we have named these muscles, isn't it better? To the mastoid process, what are the muscles attached? Sternocleidomastoid and posterior belly of digastric. To the styloid process also, we know the muscles which are attached. Stylohyoid, styloglossus and stylophalanges. Okay. So posteromedially, it is also related to carotid sheath with its contents. That is the common carotid, which is
Common
divided into
carotid artery. Internal jugular.
what is this nerve?
And the sympathetic vein.
Ansa cervicalis.
Ansa cervicalis.
Ansa
Between
cervicalis.
here
Vagus.
we will find vagus, behind we will find sympathetic chain, isn't it? Apart from this, we also find transverse process of first cervical vertebra, that is atlas, posteromedial. Posteromedial. Okay. Now, the facial nerve is entering the gland by piercing the upper part of this surface. Okay, that is the posterolateral surface. Then external carotid artery lodges in a groove in the lower part. Okay. Now, coming to this anterior border. So, what are the structures we see in the anterior border? You have seen the terminal branch of facial nerve just now, no? So, zygomatic branch of the facial nerve we have seen. Then this is transverse facial artery, buccal branch of facial nerve. Sometimes we may have an extra lobe of parotid gland, which is called as accessory parotid gland. The green duct we have seen in the previous picture is Stenson's duct, also called as parotid duct. Then mandibular branch of facial nerve. Okay, so these three nerves are the terminal branches of the facial nerve. Apart from that, we have the transverse facial artery, okay, parotid duct and accessory parotid gland. Okay. Now see here, this branching of the facial nerve inside the parotid gland, it looks as though it is like goose foot. Okay, that means the terminal branches are coming like this. No, just now I have shown you like this. Okay, but it is, so suppose this is the facial nerve, two trunks it is dividing into. The upper trunk is the temporofacial trunk, spelling is wrong, but I should not know. Okay, which is further dividing into temporal and zygomatic. The lower vein is called as cervicofacial trunk, this one, which is further dividing into buccal, marginal mandibular and cervical. Okay, so we know like facial nerve comes out through stylomastoid foramen. Okay, it is piercing the posteromedial surface. It lies superficial to retromandibular vein and external carotid artery. Okay, this is a part of the course of facial nerve. Okay, now you can see this is how it is coursing. And we should know this course because when we are doing peritodectomy, we should be careful to see we are preserving this trunk and all facial nerve branches. That's the reason when we do parotid surgery, we do it piecemeal. Okay, small bits, they will be removed in small pieces. Because if facial nerve is damaged, then the person will suffer with Bell's palsy. Facial nerve is the motor nerve of the face. All muscles of facial expression are supplied by facial nerve. So those will be lost. No? So that's why we should preserve facial nerve. Very dangerous. That's the reason after parotid surgeries, in case of parotid tumors, though you have done surgery, patient will come back to you again after 1 year or 2 years, because whatever cells are left over, they will multiply again and the parotid tumor will be occurring again and again. Okay, because of the leftover cancer cells, in order to preserve this facial nerve. We cannot do it like something like lobectomy or lumpectomy cannot be done. Okay, we should spare facial nerve. So this is about facial nerve. This is the stylomastoid foramen. It is piercing from the posteromedial aspect, running superficial to retromandibular. All that. So all these are terminal branches, not so much. You try to remember this picture: temporal, zygomatic, buccal, mandibular, and cervical. Okay. So structures coursing also we have already seen. Like that means they are piercing. We see the auriculotemporal nerve. We see the external carotid artery, the retromandibular vein, and the facial nerve. Okay. Few lymph nodes are scattered within the substance of the gland. Then, so this picture is taken from old Chaurasia textbook. So what are the structures which are passing through parotid? When you start with this first picture, you are finding this is external carotid artery. So what are the branches we find? Posterior auricular, maxillary, transverse facial, and superficial temporal. These are the branches of external carotid artery which are seen branching inside the parotid. Similarly, you are seeing the formation of retromandibular vein. How is that? The superficial temporal vein and transverse
Superficial
facial
temporal
vein.
maxillary.
Ha.
Oh, okay.
Superficial temporal maxillary and transverse facial vein is also
Facial.
draining. Okay, so
Yes,
they
ma'am.
form the retromandibular. So it will have, just now I told you, anterior and posterior.
Posterior.
No? Anterior is joining common facial to drain into internal jugular.
Mhm.
Posterior is joining the posterior auricular to drain into external jugular vein. This particular part of the venous drainage is useful in scalp, it is useful in face. It's also useful when we study the structures piercing the parotid gland. Okay, and this is, we have discussed so many times just now, the coursing of facial nerve to the gland. Okay. So all these processes are actually not so important. So, but sometimes like not at all important, but it's an extra point in fact. The gland is very much irregular, lobulated based on the place where it is showing a little bit of outpouching. We have named them, like we have glenoid process, we have facial process, we have accessory process. Towards the pterygoid plates, we have pterygoid process. Towards the carotid blood vessels, we have carotid process, like that. We need not go into the details of this. Okay. Stenson's duct itself can be a 3 marks question. Parotid is an essay question. 15 marks question it is. Okay. So parotid duct is around 2 inches long. It is emerging from the anterior border, no? From the anterior border of the gland, which is corresponding to the facial process. This is the facial process. Okay. Then it is passing forwards over the, what is the name of this muscle which is outside the mandible towards the ramus? Masseter. Isn't it? So that means whatever muscle we are seeing here, this is masseter. So it is running over the lateral surface of the masseter muscle. Okay. So this is zygomatic arch, isn't it? Just one finger breadth below the zygomatic arch we will see. Then it is accompanied by, here they are, the vessels are not shown. It is actually accompanied by transverse facial vessels. Okay, then upper zygomatic branches of facial nerve, and upper means upper buccal branch and lower buccal branch. Okay, that is of the facial nerve. Now, you see here, this parotid duct, it is turning around the anterior border of the masseter muscle. We should know what all structures it is piercing. Very, very important. It pierces the buccal pad of fat, buccopharyngeal fascia, buccinator muscle, buccal mucosa. Finally, it is opening into the oral cavity. Okay, into the vestibule of the mouth, behind upper second molar tooth.